Hi everyone, welcome to the Commons Court and to our show Closing Arguments. Today we'll be debating about tax evasion and tax minimization, their differences and similarities. I have with me today, as usual, Muhammad Ali and Yahya Qureshi. Both of them will be giving their opinions on tax minimization and tax evasion and the difference and similarities. And for a change, I'll be giving my opinion as well. I would like Yaya Qureshi to start on our debate and we'll go from there.
So here's the problem. Many of us like to draw artificial lines between tax avoidance or minimization and tax evasion. As both of you may already have been able to tell, even after watching our videos on it, the lines seem difficult to draw. The line between them, that is. Tax evasion is said to be illegal because an individual hides his true wealth and therefore lowers his tax bracket. One can use several methods to hide one's true wealth, such as sending your money abroad, using lax regulations on foreign currency, or using sham companies to launder money. Tax avoidance, on the other hand, is dodgy at best. Not exactly legal, but not exactly illegal either. It is said that individuals may use loopholes within a given framework to minimize their tax. Like tax evasion, one can use several methods to do so and hope not to get caught. For instance, one can divide their properties among their heirs to lower their true wealth in the eyes of the state. My question is, how exactly do you draw clear lines between the two?
That's a very interesting question, Yaya, actually, and I, I wanted to answer it. I think it's fairly simple when you look at it in terms of the law. Tax evasion is actually illegal in the sense that you're breaking tax laws when you're doing it. You're not really bending the law, or not you're not really using loopholes. You're actually breaking it. That's tax evasion, and that's why I feel that it needs further punishment and needs much more stricter punishment. Tax minimization, on the other hand, you're not essentially breaking the law per se. What you're doing is you're staying within the law and using loopholes to minimize your taxes. And as long as that law stays and those loopholes are there, there's nothing really wrong with doing that. And that's why, in my opinion, tax evasion is quite different from tax minimization, and therefore tax evasion needs to be punished, whilst tax minimization is a perfectly legal practice, and it will maintain to be legal until the laws change. Uh, and with that, I want to go to Muhammad Ali and hear his opinion on this.
There's a difference between the terms wrong and illegal, and I think it's epitomized by the word loopholes. I accept the fact that tax minimization may not be illegal, but it is still a problem that needs to be clamped down on. And I say that because if you consider the purpose behind the tax legislation in place, one of the major things about tax evasion that the tax laws try to stamp down upon is the fact that there's deception, that people are not honest or not entirely forthcoming. And the purpose behind it is not only to stop them doing that, but also to get more accurate tax income figures for the country. So, for example, the right amount of tax money is coming into the country from those people. And using that, then governments make progressive legislation schemes and whatever based on the kind of money that people have. And all of that goes out the window the moment that tax minimization comes into the equation. Because people using schemes like, for example, dividing their assets within their kids, it's perfectly legal, I accept. But that money that could have otherwise been taxed on that one person is being divided into four different people simply so that that money is not then taxed. And I think it is a form of deception. Maybe not to as much of a degree as tax evasion, but you're still doing pretty much the same things for the same objective, which is not to pay that same amount of tax. And for me, that's a problem.
Thanks for that, Muhammad Ali. I think with that, we've come to an end of part one of this episode of Closing Arguments. We'll be posting the second episode tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And till then, this is your host Hamza Haider, and that's the way it is.